Hello, how are you? My name is Phil Earle. I write books like When the Sky Falls and While the Storm Rages, and my summer read for this year, my new book, which is Until the Road Ends, which is World War II, as you can see, animal, blitz, adventure. It's about friendship and intrigue and disaster and loyalty, and the single most important thing in the world other than biscuits, which is love. And it's about three intrepid animals, a very loyal dog called Beau, a deeply sarcastic cat called Mabel, and a carrier pigeon called Bomber, who also happens to be thinking he's a soldier slash spy. And they go on an incredible adventure to be reunited with their girl, Peggy, when disaster strikes in London. And I thought I would read you some of the first chapter, just to give you a feel about what it's about. So here we go. It would be fair to say that Beau's life began 1 second before it almost ended. He hadn't meant to stagger into the road, but he was hungry, starving in fact. The dustbins that lined Balham's alleyways had been mercilessly empty all week, leaving him light-headed and woozy. This was why he tottered from the curb onto the busy high street, and why he found himself staring at the approaching lorry. He should have moved. He knew that. He'd survived on the streets for years. But this time, he didn't move. Or couldn't. The monster's lights held him trance-like, drawing him deeper into their blinding depths. He didn't want it to end like this. Of course he didn't. He wasn't old or bitter. He didn't hate the world or the people who lived in it, but he was tired. And his legs simply didn't understand either the gravity of the situation or the simplicity of the order being sent from his brain. But as he shut out the world one final time, Beau felt it shift and then capsize as two hands gripped his belly, wrenching him sideways. Beau rolled, pulled tight into his saviour, and saw the landscape pirouette as they both dived for the safety of the gutter while the lorry tore by. What had just happened, he wondered, and whose hands were they gripping him tightly? The dog tensed, trying to see who was holding him, but was clutched so closely to their chest that he could see nothing. So he panicked. He didn't trust humans. He wanted to, but after everything that had happened to him, he couldn't take the risk. His entire body went rigid, but those hands held on. He bucked and writhed. He waited for the hands to strike him, or a voice to shout, but neither came. Instead, his head was pulled into the nape of the human's neck, and a single finger gently scratched at a spot that had been troubling him for days. If that wasn't enough to allow his tension to subside, there came a voice, not one of a grown human, who were always the worst in his experience, but of a child. "Steady on," said the girl. "There's nothing to be scared of, is there? I've got you beautiful, just in time by the looks of it." The voice continued, singing softly in his ear. "It's all right, beautiful, it's all right." And it was such a simple, heartfelt lullaby that the dog relented, all fear and distrust forgotten. And within seconds, he was sound asleep. If you want to know more about Beau and about the human that he's holding him, then read on Until the Road Ends. That's my summer read. Back to you, Mr. Dilly. Cheers.